Hello and welcome to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. And we're unpacking new comic books that go on sale at 10 a.m. Wednesday, January 31st, 2018. And we are going to start with a Marvel title, All New Wolverine, and that is issue 30. Nice looking cover. And then next up, we have also a Marvel title, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. And that is issue 15. Next up after that is the Amory Wars from Boom Studios, issue 10, or Amori Wars, depending on how you look at it. Next up is Marvel Avengers, and that is issue 678. It's part 4 of the No Surrender subplot, and just as that's the standard cover. And there's an idea of what one of the variants looks like. A nice thank you variant from Marvel. Next up, we have from Image, great series, issue 19 of Beauty. Very nice series indeed. Then we have, after that, Belladonna, Fire and Fury, issue number 3. And then from Marvel, we have Ben Reilly, The Scarlet Spider, issue 13. Seems unlucky. Image brings us the next title. It is called Bonehead, and that is issue 2. That's selling pretty well right now, so it must have some decent stuff in it. Marvel, Captain Marvel, issue 128, part of the Dark Origins run they have going there. And then we got in Casper, the Friendly Ghost, issue 1. I believe that's a reorder. We stocked quite a few comics for kids, and that's a good one to get. It's well put together, well drawn, good stories, kid appropriate. Next up from Aftershock Comics, who've been kind of on the uptick here recently. Dark Ark, very good comic, issue 5 of that. I know quite a few of you are anxiously awaiting that issue. Then we have from DC, Dark Knight's Metal, and that is issue 5, exploring some of the darker elements of the DC, or a parallel DC universe. Then also from DC, we have Deathstroke Defiance, and this is an annual number 1. And Marvel, The Defenders, issue 9 is up next, Kingpins of New York. Then we have the Despicable Deadpool, issue 293 of that. And that's the bucket list. They're currently in the middle of that storyline. Then next up we have Batman Detective, issue 1, or it's the first annual of this year. So as you can see, DC's got quite a few annuals cooking along. Next up from Valiant, and I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, if you're not reading Valiant, you need to. Do yourself a favor and get some of their books. They are kicking tail right now. They just sold yesterday to a production company that's going to help out with their television and movie production. They've got about 5 or 6 titles that are headed for that. Then we have from Marvel, issue 4 of Falcon, the Take Flight run. And again, in the annual theme, we have DC's The Flash, annual number 1. And then next up from Image, another highly anticipated title is God Complex, and that is issue 4 of that. Quite a few of you are reading that. And wait no longer for issue 4. There she is. And then we have from DC, Harley Quinn, issue 36. Variant covers are available for most of the Marvel and DC titles that you're seeing. But that is issue 36 of that, called Batter Up. Next up from Dark Horse Comics, or an imprint of theirs called Burger Books, is issue 1 of Hungry Ghosts. And this is actually written by Anthony Bourdain. You might be familiar with his cooking TV shows. But he's got a book out called Hungry Ghosts, and that is issue 1. Looks pretty interesting. And then from Marvel, we have The Incredible Hulk, And this is going to be the Incredible Hulk versus the Unworthy Thor, and that's issue 712. And after that, we have the Invincible Iron Man, issue 596. And I believe that clears up all the unanswered questions from issue 595. Then next up from Marvel, we have Jean Grey, issue 11, part of the Phoenix Resurrection line. Then next up, also from Marvel Legacy, we have Jessica Jones, issue 16. And then again from Dark Horse Comics, issue 5 of Joe Gullum, the Occult Detective. And I believe that is, yes it is, it's just a 5-shot. So that's the last comic out of that series. But that hits tomorrow, Flesh and Blood, part 2. Then we have from Marvel, Moon Knight, issue 191. From IDW, My Little Pony. I know quite a few of you will be excited about that. I know I am. And after that, we have from Marvel, Old Man Logan. And that is issue 34. Next up, from Image Publishing, we have Outcast, Kirkman title. And that is issue 33. Quite a few people are reading that currently. After that, we have a Marvel title, Phoenix Resurrection, issue 5. Part of the return of Jean Grey to the Marvel world. Then we have from Marvel, Punisher, the Platoon. And this is from Garth Ennis, the guy that wrote The Preacher. Very good run going on this currently. And so, good time to check it out. Next up, again, from Valiant Publishing. If you're not reading Valiant, you should. We have Quantum and Woody, number 2. Looks like a good title. And then if you're going to a good comic shop, they will be getting the pre-order variants, and that's the pre-order. They have additional content compared to the standard issue, so these are available for people who request them. So we have those in as well. Next up, a very highly anticipated book from Image. I have a ton of people reading this right now. The Realm, issue 5. And then from Oni Press, part of the Adult Swim, Rick and Morty. And that is issue 34 of that. Next up from Archie Comics, we have Riverdale, issue 10. And after that, we have from Titan Comics, issue 1 of Robotech. It's a Brian Wood title. We also have part of Adult Swim from IDW, Samurai Jack, issue 4. And then I believe this is a reorder in of The Silencer, issue 1. We had a couple people looking to still jump onto that series, so we ordered some more of those. Next up from Image, Spawn, issue 282. If you can imagine, he's still cooking along at issue 282. Todd McFarlane. Then from Marvel, we have Spider-Gwen, part of the Gwenom series, and that is issue 28. From IDW, Star Trek Boldly Go, which is kind of taking on the current version of Star Trek. Very well-read book here in the store, issue 16 of that. Then a Kieran Gillen Marvel title, which are always good, Star Wars Dr. Aphra. That's issue 16. Kieran Gillen is a very good writer, so that's a very well-written book. New title from Marvel in the Star Wars series, and that is The Last Jedi DJ, issue 1. And then next up, also from Kieran Gillen, this from Avatar Press, another highly anticipated book, very big seller here in our store, Uber Invasion, issue 11. This is the propaganda cover. We also carry the standard cover as well, but by far and away the most popular covers at our store tend to be the propaganda covers. They tend to look like propaganda posters from World War II. Then we have Ray Fawkes, Underwinter from Image, and that is part 4 of The Field of Feathers, and that's been pretty good. Next up, also from Image, we have issue 3 of Void Trip. And then the last one we have for this week is Walt Disney Comics and Stories from IDW, and that is issue 741. It's an oversized issue, but if you've got young kids that are looking to get into comics, these are very well written, very nice paper that it's on. These are fantastic comic books to get young kids into. That looks like all the new comics for Wednesday, January 31st, here at Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. Hope to see you.